Whoa. Hey guys, so I look like absolute crap as always, but it doesn't matter because I took like a very good nap. So, as you can see, I have no idea what happened here, but I just started like scratching at it and it went to poop. But, hi! So, I haven't recorded in a while, and here are the deets. I know I always come to you guys like, oh, I haven't recorded in a while, and then I give you my lame excuses, but this time it's really been like draining. But anyway, a little update on my pregnancy, I guess, for those of you that want to keep up with that. I don't know if I should make something separate for this, since I know it's maybe a little bit awkward to include kids, because I know some of my viewers, or at least most of my viewers, are stoners and stuff. Hi guys. It might be a little bit weird to kind of involve kids in this. At least I know I would feel really awkward if I want to be like hitting up something and there's kids involved in the video or something. Excuse me, the alarm's gonna be going on and off. Anywho, I forgot where I was going with this, but it turns out I went to go get checked on Monday, and what happened? Oh yeah, they couldn't find the heartbeat, so they were like freaking out, right? So they sent me to get the ultrasound done just to make sure everything's going fine, and they checked the baby, and the baby's perfectly fine. And then Tuesday explains why they couldn't find the heartbeat. It's because he's too small. She's too small. Normally the heartbeat, they hear it at around like 12 weeks or whatever, and turns out I'm like 10 and some days, and that goes by the measurements that they gave me on Tuesday. I would have loved to have shown you a picture, and I have no idea where I left. Actually, I know there's some in the Bible in the car, and the other ones I don't know what happened with. Oh, hold on. I actually remember seeing them. Yes, I'm wearing PJs, don't judge me. I actually remember seeing them on my way out of the room. So this is like the very first one they took, and it was like a very like old machine, I guess. So it wasn't like all crazy there, but his head's supposed to be like right there or something. And this one is the one they took on Tuesday, and it's not that much clearer, but there you go. But apparently it's just chilling with its legs up here and its head right there. It doesn't move much. It jumps here and there, but it's like a very lazy baby compared to my first one. My first one, it would move like crazy. It was literally like bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. It wouldn't like be let the nurses take its measurements correctly. But there's that. So I have like 3 things to talk to you guys about. Don't know what I'm going to talk about in this video, but here are the 3 things. I would talk about all 3 of them in the video, but I don't want to make this video as long as I've been making them, simply because I don't know who in the world would sit here and hear me blabber for like 40 some plus minutes or whatever. But the 3 things I want to talk to you guys about is basically, one of them is just kind of like the clothing industry. And I think, see, it's because this is why I can't mention them to you guys, because then I go off on them. So yeah, I guess this is what I'll be talking about, because this is what I had on my mind to talk about to you guys in the first place for quite some time already, and the rest of them just kind of developed. Although I think I want to talk to you guys about the other one, because like the deets are like really fresh in my memory. Okay, so there's 3, right? So there's the clothing industry, which I'll get to that, and the second one is I've been watching a lot of my paranormal experiences, or how I almost got kidnapped, or my stalker videos, you know, from like other people and stuff. Mainly, most of them are like beauty girls, which I don't know why I watch, because I don't even apply it to my life. But I've been watching like those videos. So I do have a how I almost got kidnapped story, but I don't know. Let me know down below if you guys would mind me bringing along a guest, because I was with a friend when this happened, so we both were about to get kidnapped. And let me know if you guys just want to hear me blabber on my own, as I always do, or if it'd be okay to bring on along a guest. And the third one was been keeping me from recording. So, which I guess I'm going to talk about that. Because it's been mainly just me being like not pissed off, but just kind of like about some people. And I shouldn't be that way, and I feel really bad like coming on here trying to tell you guys like, oh, we gotta love each other, and you know, God wants us to share his love, when I can't even love my neighbor. Literally my neighbor. Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys like, because I freaking love you guys, like I know like most of you guys that watch are still the ones that began watching with when I first started this channel. So I mean, I love you guys that much, and to that extent there's that trust, you know what I mean, that I can share names with you guys and relationships, or like how I relate to these people. because I feel I get along with you guys like that, you know what I mean? Even though like we don't really have a getting along standard, I guess. I don't know. It makes sense in my head. But where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So I don't know why the ultrasound says that I am like, where is it? I don't know. It says I'm 12 weeks, but the lady there was like, oh, you're nowhere near 12 weeks. It seems like you're more like 10 and like 4 days. But, right? I don't know why I just mentioned that, because I know people will probably like pause it to look at it like, what does it say, 10 weeks or 12 weeks? I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. So I'm gonna start at the beginning. Let's just say one day I have a dream. I'm no Martin Luther King. It wasn't that kind of dream, but I had a dream. A literal, like, in my night sleep dream. And lately we've been hanging out with my brother-in-law and his wife and stuff. And we don't really like preach to them, because I'm not a preacher. I'm more of I kind of rely on my actions to speak to people, because if I can go out there and preach them something that I may not be applying in my life, but at the time I'm not picking it up, you know, like I'm not noticing I'm not applying this in my life, and that would make me just a hypocrite, you know what I mean? It would make me look, at least to them, as a hypocrite, and they wouldn't want to follow. So I try to just preach with my actions. And to you guys, I mean, I feel more comfortable. My hair's like I feel more comfortable to share stuff with you guys like this, because like, I mean, you guys have known me when like I've been like really crazy and when I've been paranoid and just everything all together. You guys have been there, you know what I mean? But with people out here, they never got to know that side of me, you know what I mean? So, oh, and there's the fourth thing I need to talk about, but for that I will be making a video, which I guess it's like a new welcoming thing, because I will be sharing the channel with, not like sharing as in they'll be taking over also, but more like I'll be like, hey, I have a channel on YouTube, to some of the girls in the church I attend to, because up until now I have yet to gather the balls to do that, because I know they can go back to my videos and see like all the stuff I talk about, but they don't really know where I come from, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I kind of took down the videos, because people were starting to spread the stuff that was convenient to them to make me look bad or whatever. But at least I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of who I was, who I am, and what I had to go through to be that, or to be where I'm at. It's just that I rather them hear it from me, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm sorry. Seriously, can somebody go back and see if there's one video where I don't hit myself? I'm pretty sure I have one somewhere. Where's I going with this? I forgot. But anyway, so we'd been hanging out with my in-laws and stuff, but just like my brother and my sister-in-law, or like his wife and stuff. And where was I? Okay. So, you know, we'd been doing pretty good, you know, like you would notice some subtle changes in him, because he's like, if he watches that, like if he watches this, like, dude, you need to change some of the stuff you do. I know it's pretty normal, at least for some girls, to put up with stuff like this. Like, he literally will tell her in front of us, like, you know, I'm pretty sure, I hope, he's just playing around. But I mean, a girl has feelings, girl, you hear me? Like, when a person tells you like, oh, you're getting a little chunky, or you need to lose some weight, or stick to your diet, okay, that hurts. You know, whether you're playing or not, a girl's gonna take that to the heart, you know what I mean? So there are little comments like that you can tell that hurt her, and he just laughs about it. Like, I'm pretty sure, like I said, he's probably joking, but I don't know, like, it's just little stuff like that he kind of stopped doing here and there, you know what I mean? Like, and he started spending more family time, because it was like, they would kind of, I would babysit the kids, or my mother-in-law would babysit them, and they would go off together to follow what he wanted to do, you know, which was to go like with his friends to go racing or clubbing or whatever. But now when we hang out, like, obviously we have a kid, I'm pregnant, we don't do that lifestyle, so we just kind of stick home, get some food, some takeout, cook, bake, whatever. Like, she bakes really good, which isn't helping with my pregnancy, guys, because I crave just about everything, and at the beginning she kind of noticed that, so she was just kind of like baking in and out every freaking day, and I started to gain crazy weight. So with that said, I guess, you know, we started noticing the little changes, right? But it's really draining, like, for people that understand like the spiritual life and stuff. Like, it drains your spirit to be around a different spirit, you know what I mean? Like, not in a whole like weird way, just in a how can I say this? Like, say, okay, I'm just gonna go into it. We have been being attacked spiritually all these 2 weeks that I haven't been recording. Well, like even prior to that, that was the little project that I had going on, was hanging out with them and helping them out in ways they probably wouldn't even notice. But it was just that, like, it just got spiritually draining. Like, just dreams started, like, I have a lot of dreams that make me like really, really jealous, and it takes a lot for me to be able to just like, oh, God, take this away from me. So the dreams started coming on like stronger, and just random stuff. So anyways, this one dream I had, right, and that's the thing, like, we get along perfectly. Like, they don't even notice the crazy crap we have to go through just because we're trying to show them a little bit of God through our actions, you know what I mean? So where was I? So this one dream, I was just coming out of a room, right? And we were at like some house, and I had gone to buy some tacos, because there is not a dream I don't have that doesn't involve food in it nowadays. Last time I had a dream where there was like this ice cream truck parked outside my house, and he's like, oh, I'll give you discounts because you've been buying so much and you're pregnant. So he gave me discounts, and I was like, yes. But anyway, I didn't get to try this one ice cream cone he had that sounded so delicious, and now I will scavenge the world for it. If you guys know anywhere where they might sell this, it is a cheesecake flavored ice cream, like on a waffle cone. That just sounds so delicious to me. But yeah, I was about to buy it, and he was about to hand it to me. I was looking for coins, and somebody woke me up, and I was like, no. But I had this dream, right? So I'm coming out of a room, and he's just there. And out of nowhere, he like freaking chokes me. This is my brother-in-law. He just chokes me, and in a different voice, he's just like, stop preaching to me. And then it switches to leave him alone, stop talking to him about God and this and that and I don't know what. And I was like, what? Like, I'm not gonna stop. And this entity, this demon, goes off to, because that's truly what it was. Like, you know when a person's not a person, you know what I mean? So this demon goes off to like try to taunt me and torture me with my past, and I'm just like, yo, I'm over it. Like, God forgave me, he washed it clean. I have no idea what the heck they're talking about right now. So I start like rebuking and praying for my brother-in-law, and I just like, I place with whatever extra strength, I place my hand on his forehead, on his head, and I just start praying for him and rebuking, and I start telling him, you know, you will come to the feet of Christ, every knee shall bow. And you know, he just kind of like fades off, you know, he like faints in my hands, and I just like set him down, and I'm like, okay, what was that? So I walk off, you know, and his friends come, and they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh dude, I don't know, just like, you know, stay there with them or whatever for when he gets up. So I leave, and I have no idea what happens in the rest of the dream, right? And then that's that. So the next day, we go out to, this is like in the waking world, we go out to eat at this like place where they made like oven pizzas or whatever, like the brick ovens, I don't know what they're called, but have you guys had any of those? I don't know, I wasn't much of a big fan of them. I actually did, what I did enjoy though, they were selling like these like breaded mozzarella clumps or something or another. They were really good though. That was good. But the pizza, I wasn't that much of a big fan of it. It was kind of salty for me. But yeah, so we go out and eat, right? So the plan is to just be them and their kids and us and our kid, well, our son, right? And the one in my belly. But because that's how it's been lately. You know, it's just been the 4 grown-ups and our kids, and it's been perfectly fine. But lo and behold, somehow my mother-in-law decides to go with us, and even my brother-in-law told her like, who invited you? You know, he's straight up like that. Like, he told her like, who invited you? And she took it as a joke, I guess, apparently, because she still ended up going. And now the thing with my mother-in-law, like, I try, like, I really do try to like this person, and I know it sounds so cliche to be like, we don't get along, but we really don't. Like, she can fake to be one person in my face and then turn around and talk smack about us and her son, including, I mean, this lady freaking called the cops on us, for crying out loud, for getting our stuff out of her garage, our own freaking stuff. It's just like, what kind of freaking mother does that? You know what I mean? But I guess she does. So there's more to it as to why I have this negative, I don't want to say hate, because hate is such a strong word, but it gets close, you know what I mean? It's just a really In Spanish, the word is rencor. I guess it's kind of like it's a very negative feeling towards the person. Like, it's not hate, but you just like hold a grudge, right? It would be a grudge. If I'm right, please, if not, somebody correct me on that word. Like, it's just something there, you know what I mean? That no matter, like, I try to push it and I try to push it, and once I get it under control and I try to go all dandy with it, she just does something to screw it up. So she ends up going anyway, right? So we all end up going, and she goes, you know, with my father-in-law, who never says a word when stuff starts picking up, but whatever. Like, I guess he doesn't say a word because he knows what he has, and if he defends it, he's gonna come off as retarded. But so he rather just stay out of it, you know what I mean? Anyway, so we're there, right? Now, so everybody can understand what's going on. My brother-in-law believes in like Saint Judas or whatever. If you guys do out there, I don't know. Don't get offended. This is just to what I know to believe and to what I believe to know that is the truth, right? So, which is what this channel is gonna be like now, from now on. He has like a huge statue of it, and then he has like this big like painting or whatever of it, and then he has like another smaller one of like Jesus, and with the like the Sacred Heart or something. Okay, so we know from Bible reading, obviously, God is against that, you know what I mean? Like, he's a very jealous God. Whether it's an image of him or not, he strictly speaks against having images in your home, worshiping images, having man-made images in your house, like just anything relating to image. I mean, that's why it's so hard for people to believe in God, is because, you know, people want to grasp onto something, like they want to physically see something to believe in it, you know what I mean? But I mean, that's what faith is all about. It's about believing without seeing. And, you know, so knowing, you know, that idolatry also falls under fornication, because you're basically like messing with other gods, you know what I mean? We know that fornication and idolatry are both sins, and people that practice that, I guess, are hellgoers, you know what I mean? Or they will end up in the pit of fire. So obviously this hurts my husband, and this hurts me, because we love these people, you know, like these people, like we legitimately love, like, even though I have been through some crap because of my brother-in-law, although he probably has nothing to blame in it, or he probably isn't even aware that he caused this kind of hurt, but whatever, we're over it. So what happened? Oh yeah, so my husband decides it's a very good time to bring it up on the table while we're waiting for pizza. And you know, he just straight up tells them, you know, like, oh, because they're speaking about we both got like alarm systems and cameras installed like within the same week. And my brother-in-laws live like in a small apartment that's built next to my mother-in-law's house, and we live like some houses down. Ours got installed in one day, no problem. Theirs, they're still having issues with it. And there's a spider. It's just like, what are you doing? And then, yo, calm down. What happened? Oh yeah, so they're still having problems with it, and my husband tells them, you know, I'm gonna tell you why you guys are still having problems, you know, with everything that goes on at the house, because they've tried internet, they've tried anything they try to install in that house, it just has issues. Like anything they try to do with the house, it has issues. My brother-in-law's house right now, with from probably almost a year back already, every time it rains, like the freaking roof is starting to kind of cave in, you know what I mean? Like they're just having issues over there. So my husband, you know, he goes off to tell him it's all because of what you guys believe in. You know, God is a jealous God, and especially since, you know, we're coming to them trying to share this with them, and they're kind of mixing in other gods and stuff and beliefs. It clashes, you know what I mean? There's a clash, and there's spirituality going on. So, not to mention, my mother-in-law has like tons of dream catchers, which they're nothing else but portals for demons. Let me tell you that. If you guys don't believe me, do a little bit of research on it. I know, like, there's two, what was it? I was trying to learn these words because I know people are always like, no, this is just for this. Like, say a video, they're like kind of dissecting a movie trailer. They're like, no, you're looking too much into it. Well, no, that's it. There's the like exo something, whatever, meaning like okay, there's two meanings to everything, you know, the one that you see and it's plain out bluntly in sight, and the one that's more of a spiritual thing that's done with the purpose that we don't really always pick up. So, you know, the first kind of thing is, oh, it's just a dream catcher. If you're having nightmares, it's so it can catch your bad dreams. But that thing is actually completely the opposite. Anyway, so she has a bunch of them, and one of them is on one of her entrance. I think she actually put it back. I don't quite remember if it's there or not, or what she did with it. But it actually had a pentagram on it. Like, it was the dream catcher, and the webbing in it actually created the star. And if you guys don't know what a pentagram is, it's just kind of like a satanic symbol, or something, you know, witches would use, or do use, because we still have those, believe it or not, during rituals and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure everybody knows what a freaking pentagram is. Anyway, so yeah, right, so she has a bunch of all that freaking crap going on in her house, and we're just like, seriously? Like, so my brother-in-law goes on to tell us that, like, oh, I don't worship my idols, I just have them there for as a symbol, you know, when I walk out. Like, since you can't see Jesus, nobody knows what Jesus looks like, nobody will ever know. Now, this is the thing, I'm not trying to be a douche about it, but like, I'm gonna tell you like what my brother-in-law was saying and what was going on in my head. So he goes on to saying, like, nobody will ever know what Jesus says. He claims to have read the Bible back and forth and to know it by memory, because he went to Bible school, which he got kicked out of by for stealing a watch from a teacher. And so I doubt it really like stuck in his head what was going on. But I say this with love, guys. Like, I really do. Like, I'm just trying to understand what goes on in his head. Not in like a mentally insane type of thing, but just like, I'm trying to figure people out, you know what I mean? Like, I try to see their point of view so I don't speak out of turn or something. But, you know, he goes off to saying, like, nobody's gonna know what Jesus looks like. I was like, first of all, okay, well, there's like a lot of, well, not a lot, but there's like some descriptions, you know, where at least they describe his hair, his feet, his eyes, like, for crying out loud. It's like freaking fire shooters, you know what I mean? Like, you want to talk about superheroes, man? There's one. There's like the only one right there. You know, it just, there are several descriptions of him. And another one, like, nobody will ever see him. Have you read Revelations? Like, we will see him. You know, every eye shall see him when he comes back for his people. So those were the thoughts going into my head. Like, dude, what are you talking about? But anyway, then he goes off to, like, you know, that's just kind of for me to be like, okay, well, you know, to kind of just get an idea or a feeling that he's not talking to nothing. You know what I mean? But that just kind of goes off knocking faith out of the way, you know what I mean? Like, believing in what you can't see when you're trying to put an image to it. Anyway, and then I'm like, okay, wait, you say you don't worship, I didn't tell him this, but I was thinking it. I was like, you say you don't worship them, yet you put candles up for them, you put flowers more than you give your wife, you freaking put glasses of water for them, that they're not gonna drink them. Those things don't move. Like, they have no life. The only life they do have is a demon. Why? Because it says so in the Bible. Behind every image resides a demon. You know what I mean? There's not in those exact words. If you can find it and quote me a whole lot better, obviously, how the scripture says it, please go ahead and do in the comments down below. But those are inanimate objects. You know what I mean? Like, what goes on through people's heads sometimes? I'm just like, okay, there's that, you know. So we go off to explaining to him that idolatry actually is a sin in the Bible, and it does say for you not to have images of any sort. And, you know, he goes off to like, oh, really? Like, he actually started getting interested in this, you know what I mean? Which was a shock to me. I actually thought he was going to get offended and just mad or whatever. And I even told him, like, you know, we're not here to offend you. We're telling you this because we care and this and that. And he's like, really? Like, he actually started being curious about it. Like, you could tell he was opening up to it. Lo and behold, at the other end of the table, which I have no idea how in the world she got so far away so fast, my mother-in-law starts just like dissing and talking smack and just like, well, we need to learn to respect what everybody believes, says the one who couldn't respect my views or my point of views on pot, right? Go figure. It's always so funny. The people that can't give respect ask for it the most. Anyway, I turn around, I kid you not, I am so glad, like, God still allows me to see this way, because this was one thing that it was like the one thing that kept me smoking, was the fact that I could actually see the spirituality in people, or just around, you know what I mean? Like, you can actually see people's face, like, distortion and stuff. It's just, I'm sorry I'm smiling through it, but it's like one of the gifts I've wanted since a child. Who wants to be seeing demons? I guess I did. Why? Because, I mean, it just keeps you that more on the alert. You know what I mean? So I turn around and her face is just changed. It's completely different. It's like huge, like bone structure right here, like just pissed like that, like literally like that. It looks so weird, but she was like that, and she just had like her cheekbones like it was really weird. And I was just like, oh my god, like, Satan, I'm sorry you're getting pissed off, but somebody's gonna hear the truth. So all I do is I was like, yeah, this isn't about respect. So I just turn around. I forgot what else I told her. I was just like, you know, the Bible, oh, and then she goes off to try to cite Bible on me. She's like, the Bible only says just to love God and this and that. I was like, yeah, love God and no other God. You know what I mean? Like, he is a jealous God, and it is in the commandments to just not have any other gods before him. You know what I mean? So it's like, lady, you're contradicting yourself here. So I just turn around, I block her, and she notices. I don't give a crap. And we continue talking to my brother-in-law. And he continues like asking questions and listening, but every freaking time he starts showing interest, my mother-in-law has to put her 2 cents in. And eventually we just end up ignoring her, and we continue talking, and we're like, okay, well, time to go, you know? And we continue to hang out the rest of the night without her. Actually, we just kind of like took off and left her, let her go home, and we just went and did our own thing with my brother-in-law. So there was that, right? So in this meantime, my mom is in Mexico, in Mexico DF, and in Querétaro also. She's like going back and forth. She was at some event with like Prophet TB Joshua. I don't know, you guys can look him up on YouTube. This guy is insane. Not like in a bad way, but like, man, God uses him like freaking crazy. It's in like the deliverance of people. And she was over there, right? So I couldn't like come back and seek for her spiritual help or like her help or prayer or anything like that. And we end up like having the craziest week after that. So my mom finally gets back, I believe the day after, and then we end up going to church the day after that. And well, the day after the whole like event, my husband and I end up having like a discussion over nothing, which always happens when we hang out with my mother-in-law and we try to share gospel with them or anything of the sort, and she goes berserk. It's just like attack after attack after attack on her family. So I'm used to it, right? So I'm just like, okay, whatever. So then the day after that, we end up going to church. On our drive back from church, this white bird passes us, what I recognize as an owl. It's like, oh, how cool, an owl, right? Well, I come and I tell my sister-in-law about it, and she's like, dude, that's a lechuza. To those of you, okay, I don't know, lechuza is like a Spanish word. I have no idea what the freak that is in English, but all I know is that it's a witch disguised in an owl. Yes, witches can transform into animals, apparently. And I was like, okay, well, whatever, you know, I just left it like, okay, whatever, that was that. Next day, when my husband has to go to work in the morning, I go drop him off. I come back. My mom hadn't told me this yet, but she told me this after I told her that. There's a freaking bird to what sounds like a freaking owl, but weirder and creepier, in the tree across the street from us. Look at my Mother Day balloons. And it's just screeching and being weird, and like, you know, it wants attention. I'm just like, I'm not gonna pay attention to you. I have my son in the car. I'm freaking out. I'm going inside. So this is like freaking 5:30ish in the morning, right? I just get my kid. I come inside. Whatever. At freaking, oh, you guys. Okay, so we have a back camera, right? During the night that I had the dream with my brother-in-law, whatever. I woke up. I checked the time. It's like 3:30, whatever. 3:30 some. The next day, I checked the camera. There's a video at that exact time. I caught movement and it turned on, and it's like facing like our bedroom window, and there's just like a lizard playing or whatever. But then the light off to the next door house goes off, and it's a motion censored light. Nobody lives there, and it was just like really weird. But anyway, I just found it like a little bit like, what the crap, like right at the same time, right? Like, anyway, so back to this. So then, you know, I kind of come back, go to sleep, wake back up, and I tell my mom about it. She's like, dude, last night, she doesn't call me dude, but I just find it weird to be like, Mija. But, well, she doesn't call me that either, I think. I don't know what she told me, actually. But, she was just like, dude, like, because she was preparing a studio, like a, kind of like a Bible study for the church. She was going to present it and stuff. And she was like, oh, last night, I kept hearing the freaking owl, this bird, this lechuza, outside the freaking window. Like, it was just there all freaking night. And I was like, what the crap? Now, I immediately, like, blame this on my mother-in-law because she's that type of person, or at least in the past, I've known her to be this type of person to pull off crap like this on people. But my mom's like, no, you know, give her the benefit of the doubt. It's just the enemy attacking you for trying to preach to them and yada yada. But something inside of me, I mean, she's called the cops on us. I know I mentioned it before, but if she's liable to do stuff like that, I'm pretty sure she's liable to try to send in a little scare here and there. So after that, everybody in the house starts getting sick. Vomiting, bone hurting. I know it sounds like a freaking virus, and yes, it's a virus, but like really out of freaking nowhere, right after this happens with her, like everybody starts getting sick, and I'm just here like, I'm so thankful God and I have this little thing. Like, you know, it's like I told you guys, like I told them, you know, like I strongly believed cannabis would keep me from getting sick because it kept me from getting sick for a whole year. So I was like, God, if I'm going to stop doing this, I do not want to require medicine at all, because I'm not going to be intoxicating my body with pharmaceuticals. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, first of all, the Bible speaks against them. I am not going to be touching them. I'm going to believe and have faith that you'll be my medicine. And up until now, I've been perfectly fine, aside from pregnancy, but that is because we were cursed with it. Why? Because of freaking Eve going and taking that bite of that apple or whatever fruit it was that she wasn't supposed to. We got cursed with like labor pains and all of these complications during birth, during pregnancy or whatever. But anyway, so I deal with that every day as any other pregnant person would. And what was I going? Oh yeah. So for the whole week that I've been dropping off my husband and coming back and forth, that freaking bird has been there. Now it's two birds, or at least I'm hoping it's two birds and not just like one bird echoing and going crazy everywhere. But it's one across the street, one on our tree, and this one morning, I hear the bird take off from our tree. I hear it screeching, 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 and it just hovers over me. And it's just screeching, and I hear its wings flapping, and I'm just like, whatever. I just have my kid, I come inside. Into all of this, my dog, he normally like walks out to the fence and receives me when I get here to pull the car in and everything. This dog doesn't move now. He like freaking, and speaking of my dog, I have something else to add to this. He freaking like now stays under the porch, and he's just there like this, just like looking everywhere like I'm not going out there. So another weird thing that happened, and you can say like, oh, well, just be careful next time you drive. My dog never stands in front of the car, like never. A couple of days ago, I switched the brake pads on our Charger with the help of my mom's friend. And because I cannot pick up, like, that tire is freaking heavy. So she helped me take off the tires and just kind of put them aside and put them back on. So, we're doing that. And, you know, we tell my husband, like, okay, we'll go test it out. We're just going to go inside and wash our hands, whatever. He apparently cut off. He runs in. I have, like, 23 minutes left. I think I, like, filled this thing up again. He runs in and he's like, help me. The dog's under the car. Max is under the car. I'm like, what the crap? And my mom goes berserk screaming at him, pobrecito. She's all like, you shouldn't be telling her stuff like this. And I'm just like, ah, my dog. So we all just run out, and I'm just like, oh, my doggy, because he was like pinned behind the bumper, in between the bumper and the wheel. He was just like stuck there. I was like, what the crap? Like, is the wheel half on him? Like, how is this happening? Well, it turns out he was just like stuck. Like, the bumper went over him, but the tire didn't. But he was stuck. Like, he's a fat dog. So finally my brother-in-law comes, and he just like kind of pulls him out, yanks a little bit of his hair, which was pretty sad, but completely okay since he's fine. And that was that, right? But that was still pretty weird, like this random crap to be happening, you know what I mean? Like, people can call it coincidence, people can call it whatever they want, but like, you know deep down when it's not just coincidence, you know what I mean? Like, I know it's happened to somebody out there, not necessarily this, but just stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean. And then anyway, so that bird, right, proceeds to be here up until like now, recently, because these 2 days my husband has been off, so I haven't gone out there at that time in the hour. But other than like that bird has been here, those two birds now. And then what else? Okay, so then on Monday. On Monday that I went to drop him off, because he was off Tuesday, 2 days, Wednesday actually. On Monday that I went to drop him off, a truck started following me. Like, I mean, it is freaking early in the morning, right? So I'm taking like crazy random turns, kind of going like, I'm taking all left turns, like going kind of in a big square just to see if maybe this guy's not following me and I'm just being paranoid. No, this guy or this person is taking every single turn with me, going in circles with me. So I'm like, what the freak? So I start getting a little paranoid. I text my brother-in-law, because he's freaking crazy like that and protective like that of his family. So I'm like, yo, I think I'm being followed. And he's like, I'm not even in town, call my mom, like this and that. I'm like, out of all people, you asked me to call your mom, like, no. So I'm just like, okay, I got this. I book it. Like, I step on that car so fast. I take it, because this guy's like, he's following me, but he's staying like a good distance behind and taking his turns real slow so I don't notice. And I'm like, dude, I can totally like see you because you're the only other freaking car in the road with me. So I take one turn and I book it, right? I start heading back home. And so I take a right turn and I book it. I end up hiding like within a gas station and a car wash place. And I see the truck pass by. And the dude's just there at the green light, like waiting, like looking around. I'm just like, oh my god. Mind you, I have my 3-year-old with me, right? So I'm like, if this guy freaking, so I'm gonna go crazy. I have every right to defend myself and my child. I'm gonna go crazy. So, I mean, because we have the club in there, like, to lock the wheel on the car. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from going crazy on this person. So I'm just like, okay, pumping, right? So he finally takes off. I book it in the other direction. And I don't go half a mile down before a freaking lechuza just like picks up and flies in front of the car. I'm like, really? It's getting a little old. Like, seriously, like now I hear the bird and I'm just like annoyed by it. Like, I'm the first like 2-3 days I was a little like frightened, and I guess when I started getting annoyed by it, that's when it tried flying over me, and I was just like, no. It was just like, now it's just really, really annoying. And I don't know, guys, like, I've been going to church and stuff. Sorry, my foot's asleep. But I've been feeling really odd. Like, it's like I said, like, you know, the Bible says, don't, like, you can't say you love God and you hate your neighbor, then you're a liar. You know what I mean? Because whosoever doesn't love their brother doesn't love God. And, well, I feel really weird. Like, I don't want to sing because most of the songs is about, you know, God, I love you, or, you know, God, you got this, got that. Like, it's mainly about, you know, thanking and telling God that you love him. So I'm just there like, you know, if I end up going to hell, it's sure not going to be for being a liar. Like, I don't know, guys. Like, I know I have to work through this, so I do ask you guys for your prayers. I'm having a little bit of a hard time just accepting who I kind of married into. Not my husband, but his family. Not my brother-in-law. Okay, more specifically, his mom. I don't know, like, it's just, I can't even stand seeing this lady. Like, I can have a perfectly good relationship with my sister-in-law, but for some reason, all it takes is me seeing my mother-in-law for me to, like, start even, like, kind of disliking my sister-in-law when she gives me no reasons whatsoever. It's like I said, like, other than, like, I get along with her just fine. I love my brother-in-law. Him and I, like, we click really good. But it takes seeing this lady, just seeing her, to just like destroy everything that's within me. You know what I mean? I know it's something spiritual. I know it's something I have to get over. But I'm just really having a hard time coping with it and getting over it, and even wanting to pray over it. So this is why I ask you guys to pray over me for it. I don't know. I really miss rejoicing in God and in church, just congregating with everybody, but I feel like it'd be hypocritical of me to, you know, like, dance and sing and clap and this and that, and then come home and be like, this lady, you know what I mean? So I know I'll get over it, glory be to God, but I don't know. I do ask you guys to pray over this for me, or over me for this, and that's pretty much it. I'm pretty sure everybody's waiting for me to make mashed potatoes, because I left the stove with like the potatoes there so they could like kind of get soft and stuff, so I can like go mash them or whatever. and I'm pretty sure everybody's starving and they've been waiting for me. So I am gonna go ahead and do that. I will come back later on today. I know I always say this and I'm getting sick and tired of lying because like I said, I am not gonna go into a pit of hell for freaking lying of any sort. So I'm fixing that, guys. I'm working on that. But I do have the other ones like to speak about, or the other 3 kind of to do. So the other, it won't be like a welcoming video, it'll just be kind of like explaining the channel to, I mean, those of you that are already here, you already know, you know where I come from and what I'm doing with this channel. But to those that I'm about to start sharing this channel with, I'm pretty sure they're gonna like kind of not weird out, but kind of like, okay, where's this coming from, like all the pothead references, because obviously, I mean, this is how you guys understand me, you know what I mean? Like, this is just how I talk to you and how I know we get each other better. So I feel it'd be a little bit better for them to understand as well, like, you know. Another thing, lastly, if you guys are watching this far, I kind of think I need a new channel name. I'm not too sure on it. I don't even have the slightest idea of where to go with this channel name. So for now, that's why I've left it like this. I don't know. Like, the only thing that kept popping back in my head was just like my not so stony life, but even then, like, people wouldn't quite understand where that's coming from. So I don't know, guys. I'm gonna go join everybody at the table if they're still even there waiting for me, and if not, I guess I'm gonna eat by myself. But and I guess brush my hair at some point and wash my face, because I haven't even done that. Like, well, not after my nap. I kind of cleanse up. I've been using these really white. Okay, I'm just gonna stop talking about wipes and stuff, because I think I'll save that for some other day. I guess for like skincare and stuff for you girls, if you girls are interested. Bye bye. God bless.